Thank you for your patience. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all for being here this afternoon and taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. What I'd like to do before I get started is, if you would please, Councilmember Santos, can you please stand up? For those of you who don't know, Councilmember Santos was the mayor last year during COVID, so unfortunately we weren't able to have a State of the City. So if you would please give Mayor Santos, or Councilmember Santos, a round of applause. Still getting ready here, I apologize. Okay, so what I'd like to do briefly is just go ahead and introduce my family, and then we'll go ahead and introduce some of the city folks for you so you have an idea of who they are. And so if you would, I brought with me today, my Aunt Stephanie, my father-in-law, Frank, my son, Evan, his girlfriend, Stephanie, as well. And I want to just say hey to my daughter, who's home with our two lovely grandkids, taking care of them and keeping them corralled, Finley and Ember. And my biggest fan, biggest supporter, my wife of almost 31 years, and school board president, Susie Lara. I'd also like to introduce, I know we've introduced our City Manager, Todd Parton, our Assistant City Manager, Christine Day. We have our Administration Director, Carrie Mendoza, our brand new Director of Finance, Ms. Jennifer Eustachian. We have our Community Development Director, Ms. Christina Taylor, back there. We have our troubleshooter for all things technical, Edgar Tornado. We have our Community Services Director here, Elizabeth Gibbs. The city's building officials just joined us, Mr. Pedro Rico. We have our Public Works Director, who's also a new face, Mr. Jeff Hart. And our Chief Plant Manager, Mr. Thaxton Von Bell. So thank you all, folks. So, you know, I mentioned earlier that we were married to my wife of about almost 31 years, and it reminded me of a story. You know, when you first get married, there's that adjustment that we all make, right? And so she's been doing the laundry, and I'm noticing that, you know, my lucky shirt's getting a little smaller. And I think, well, do I say anything or not? And so I'm thinking, I really don't like sleeping on the couch, so maybe I'll just keep it to myself. This continues, and then a pair of pants gets smaller. I'm thinking, maybe she's just using the wrong dryer setting, right? That'll fix it. I still don't say anything, and this continues for about a month, 2 months, until I don't have very many clothes to wear. Well, come to find out, it wasn't the washer and the dryer, it was the refrigerator and the pantry. Thank you, I'll be here all day. So this afternoon, we're going to take a brief look back at the past. We're going to show you a little bit of where we are today, and then we're going to talk about what we have planned for the future. I'll get the slides caught up here. So let's take a quick look back at who we were then. You can see there's Mayor Pro Tem Lloyd White, yours truly in the middle, and then at the time, it was City Clerk Julio Martinez, who was having so much fun being the clerk, decided to run for office, and now he's Councilmember Martinez. So, you know, I'm always amazed when I look back at the past to see where we were in 2016 compared to where we come and where we are today. It's hard to believe that my first term as mayor was just 5 short years ago. And our council worked through a very dark time in our city's history. And I want to just give you a brief review over what we had experienced or dealt with at that time. At the time, there was no vision for the city. And due to poor fiscal operational management practices, the city's general fund, the fund where most of our services are budgeted from, was $11 million in the red. We were on the brink of bankruptcy. There was no capital improvement plan to speak of. And most importantly, and I think probably the most difficult thing to deal with, was the lack of public trust, or zero public trust, if you will. So at the end of my 2016 State of the City address, I talked about our city council being tenacious. You know, we needed to rise to the challenge to restore the confidence of our citizenry. So the question is, have we been successful? So today, we have a vision to improve the quality of life while continuing to make progress for a brighter future. With the mission to serve a great city and its citizens, we now have a balanced budget with a reserve. We have both a fiscal and a sustainability plan. We have a robust capital improvement plan. And so what I'll do now is I'll show you all what that looks like. So first, we started with rebuilding the public trust. And so today what I'll do for you is I want to highlight the following topics: finances, capital projects, public safety, development, and of course the big topic that's on everybody's mind right now is COVID-19. So first up, let's take a look at our finances. You know, are we fiscally solid today? Well, in our fiscal sustainability model, it's important to note the City of Beaumont is expecting revenues to continue to trend upward. It's also important to note that the city continues to set aside reserve funding, which is a key element in keeping our city fiscally sound. By developing this type of a fiscal model, the city is able to anticipate and prepare for potential economic downturns as we continue to grow the city responsibly. Now, we've seen significant improvements in our financial reporting. These improvements help to ensure our annual audits receive good, solid reviews from external auditors. It was 2017 when the City Council and staff began looking at ways to reduce the Community Facility District, or CFD, fees for our property owners. And as you can see by the graph, 70% up here, 70% of all properties were able to see a reduction through both pay-go and CFD refinancing. Overall, the reductions in refinancing has saved property taxpayers $6 million in CFD fees. So this slide here emphasizes the importance of alternate funding sources in the form of grants. With close to $14 million secured, staff continues looking to find other sources of funding for facilities, programs, and equipment. Each year, as a part of our budgetary process, City Council reviews and adopts a 5-year capital improvement plan. The proposed plan provides a balance of citywide projects, including street improvements, public safety, quality of life, and wastewater system improvements. So far to date, we have completed $11.3 million in capital improvement projects, which I'll discuss further in the presentation. We have projected funding programmed from 2022 through 2026 for $24.3 million. So here what we can see is in 2017, the City of Beaumont conducted an analysis on the condition of the streets, and we were given what they call a Pavement Condition Index, or a PCI. The score is indicated on the slide, and I doubt if you can see it, I'm not sure. The Pci Index Rating is a numerical value between 0 and 100. 0 being a failed road, which is indicated on this map, the streets in red, and 100 being the streets that are in good or in very good condition, which are identified in green. So as you can see, in 2017, many of the streets in the downtown portion of the city were rated poor or failing, while streets in the newer developments were rated good or in very good condition, which makes sense because they're newer streets. Then in August of 2019, City Council gave direction to city staff to make street rehabilitation and maintenance our top priority. So to date, the City of Beaumont has completed 79 lane miles of street improvements, with the majority of these improvements occurring in the downtown area. On the right side of the screen, the areas in green represents the streets completed, over there in the aerial, represent the streets completed since 2019. Nearly 26% of the streets have been improved within the last 2 years. And I know that doesn't sound very big, like a very large number, but to give you some type of context, a lot of the streets in the old downtown area hadn't been paved in over 50 years. So just to give you a little context with that slide. So the city of Beaumont owns and manages approximately 282 lane miles. So looking at this map, the areas in yellow represent the next phase of our upcoming street improvements. So we're not done yet. What I want to do now is see what Councilmember Santos has to say about Beaumont's progress.
Hi, this is Ray Santos, City of Beaumont City Council, and I'm here to talk about Beaumont has completed a 79 lane miles of rehabilitation and maintenance, and we are not stopping there. And the future Beaumont's annual report on the road rehabilitation program is planning an additional 73 lane miles of improvements. Most of the improvements will consist of the same as we see here on 6th Street up to Beaumont Avenue, Orange Street in here. You will see we have reconstructed Beaumont from 5th Street to Brookside, and we use a good texture. When you drive in there, it's really smooth. If you haven't tried, try it from downtown to the sports center in there. We have allocated on this over $1 million on the yearly for the fiscal year coming 2022 up to 2025. This one, you will see all the improvements, and will not, again, I mentioned to you on the beginning, we're not stopping. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the staff of the City of Beaumont. Please excuse our progress as we continue to make street improvements in a priority project in lovely, beautiful City of Beaumont. You take care, and we'll see you around.
So in 2019, work was completed on phase 1 of the Petrara Interchange. This $24 million endeavor was a public-private partnership to improve the safety conditions on Route 60 and to provide acceleration and deceleration lanes for westward-bound commuters at Western Knolls Avenue. The interchange now connects portions of the city that were previously separated by the 60 freeway. Now, the design for phase 2 is 95% complete, and the city is actively seeking funding to complete the ramp portions of this project. So let's talk about and look into what's happening with public safety. It's important to mention, to date, Beaumont PD has received over 27,000 calls for service. Handling this type of volume in a city our size can only be accomplished by having highly trained and dedicated individuals. The Beaumont Police Department K-9 Division has established itself with federal, state, and local authorities within Southern California. These partnerships have proven vital, and as a result, our agency has seized the following within fiscal year 2021. Now, I want to make sure that we clarify, I don't know if any of you can see that, but you're talking methamphetamine over 1,000 pounds, cocaine of 120 pounds, 12 pounds of heroin, and the list goes on. That's not all from Beaumont. I just want to make sure you all understand that. Because MILA has been utilized by agencies such as the CHP and the Department of Homeland Security. The K-9 Division has performed over 125 searches and conducted what they call 4 live tracks for missing persons within 2021. So this program has gone so well that we are now working on training MILA to find your lost keys, your lost wallets, your lost cell phones, and that infamous missing sock that goes into the laundry but never comes back out. The mission of the Beaumont Police Department is to provide the highest quality of law enforcement service in the most effective and efficient manner possible. Our data-driven department continues to enhance staffing levels and maintain proactive partnerships to meet the community needs. With these enhancements, Beaumont has managed to maintain a 3-minute response time for all Priority 1 calls. And as you can see, you're talking about a 3-minute response time for a city that's 34 square miles is quite a feat. So I appreciate our police officers' efforts in that respect. In the last 8 months, Beaumont has hired 9 police officers. These are all experienced officers who choose to bring their experience to our city. In order to meet the needs of our community, Beaumont has expanded our team to include a second school resource officer and a second member of our K-9 team. By partnering with other regional entities, such as the Riverside University Health System, Beaumont has also welcomed a crisis intervention team. The new county-funded behavioral health specialist will assist patrol on calls where folks are experiencing mental health crisis. Using data-driven staffing, we have implemented a swing shift to provide additional coverage during shift change and increased our traffic deployment in our key traffic areas. Our department collaborates with our school district to support students, teachers, and staff. Just last week, Beaumont City Council approved a contract with Riverside County Emergency Management Department to provide 1 full-time emergency services coordinator to serve the City of Beaumont and Beaumont Unified School District. This partnership between EMD, BUSD, and the City of Beaumont is the first of its kind and will provide much-needed disaster readiness expertise and resources to our community and families. Now, in addition to this partnership, the Beaumont Police Department provides resources to support Beaumont Unified School District through our various agreements. We have 2 school resource officers, as I mentioned earlier. We have K-9 drug detection. We also have active shooter and emergency response training for all school district staff and students. In 2020, the Beaumont Police Department took disaster response to a whole new level. The COVID pandemic, impacts of civil unrest, devastating wildfires, and flood preparation are just a few of the events the police department encountered over the last 18 months. Primary to these has been the department's preparation for potential mud and debris flow events. The recent Apple and El Dorado fires left over 81 square miles of burn scar on the hillsides above our pass area. Our Beaumont Police Department began preparing to respond to potential mud and debris flow events, which are expected to still impact our local communities. Now, in conjunction with the Department of Emergency Management, as well as our local fire and law enforcement partners, we collaborated to conduct community outreach efforts, informing residents of the risk of flooding and how to prepare. So on that note, unfortunately, we're not out of the danger zone, so even though you see greenery up on the hills up above us, I want to remind our residents to be prepared for ongoing threat of mudslide and debris flow events from the burn scar area. So we want to encourage our citizens to sign up for emergency alerts at rivcoready.org. Next, we're going to move on to development within the City of Beaumont. The general plan update kicked off in December of 2016 and was completed in 2020. And I must say I'm very proud to say that this general plan update was awarded both Inland Empire American Planning Association Award of Excellence and the State of California American Planning Association Award of Excellence for a small jurisdictional comprehensive plan. So with this general plan update, the City of Beaumont is taking bold steps to make our general plan a true long-range plan that will chart our city's future into the middle of the 21st century. It's no secret that our city has grown rapidly in the past 2 decades, with the population growth rate higher today than 4 times higher today than in the year 2000. Much of the suburban growth has been in the form of low-density, single-family subdivisions and commercial strip centers. So in an effort to address our future housing, Beaumont kicked off the 6th cycle housing element in October of 2020. This project is expected to be complete in December of 2021. The City of Beaumont's regional housing needs allocation, or what you'll always hear referred to as ARENA numbers, requires 4,210 units over the next 8 years. Now, this is part of the state-mandated element of the general plan, which covers low to above moderate income level housing. The goal is to ensure both existing and projected demand for housing is met within our city area. Now we'll look at some building permit data. So in 2019, we issued a total of 531 single-family dwelling permits and 124 commercial industrial permits. Now we saw a dip in 2020, obviously, because of the pandemic, where we issued a total of 275 single-family dwelling permits and 109 commercial industrial permits. So now when you go back and we look at year to date, we have issued 245 single-family dwelling permits and 71 commercial industrial permits. So now these numbers appear to be tracking close to pre-pandemic levels. So now, according to the newly released 2020 census data, over the last 10 years, Beaumont has grown faster than any other city in Riverside County, and I know those of you that live here is probably not a big surprise. So since 2010, we've added 16,159 friendly faces and grown to a population of 53,036, which actually represents a 43.82% increase. So now we'll talk about business. There have been significant investments in the business park area of the city, which has brought over 4,000 jobs to the city in the past 10 years. New businesses include Icon Health and Fitness, CJ Foods, Rudolph Foods, Wolverine Worldwide, and Amazon. So in an effort to continue to bring retailers to our area, the city will be participating in the nation's largest retail conference to showcase new sites in the city and enhance its retail recruitment efforts. We look forward to continuing to bring jobs and opportunities to the city of Beaumont. So we talked about COVID, and COVID brought new challenges to the city in 2020. However, it also brought innovation and presented opportunities to serve our residents in new and different ways. In March of 2020, due to state-mandated shutdowns, the city moved to provide a virtual city hall. We provided support for our businesses who were impacted by necessary closures. We provided a resource center for up-to-date information on local, state, and federal assistance programs. We worked around the clock to relay important county, state, and federal public health guidelines and mandates, which were constantly changing at that time almost hourly. We established a grant program to support small businesses where 41 grants were approved, totaling $123,000. We also assisted our citizens with household grants, where 25 grants were approved for a total of $37,500. We also provide outdoor equipment rental program, which provides easy-up canopies and barricades to create outdoor dining areas for our restaurants. Beaumont Eats was another program to help businesses in the community, where we highlighted local businesses offering curbside pickup and to-go orders during the initial lockdown phases. To support our residents, we created a virtual recreation program, which we'll cover in a later slide. Also, our annual senior Thanksgiving meal delivery took place with the appropriate precautions in allowing us to provide meals to our senior community. And as we continue to support our seniors by providing meals through partnerships with Feeding America and Riverside County Family Services Association. To support our development, we enhanced permitting services through our new Citizen Self-Service Portal, or CSS. CSS is an online portal that will allow the public, from the comfort of their homes, offices, or on the go with their mobile devices, to self-apply for permits, submit documents, receive plan review corrections, make permit payments, check fees, schedule inspections, pick up your laundry, check status of plan check, and building inspections. I was kidding about the laundry, sorry. While COVID changed many things, it didn't stop Beaumont from having fun. At least we'll say socially distanced fun, that is. Here are just a few of the contests and activities provided for our citizens. We had contests for baking, pumpkin decorating, Lego building. We also had our partners at the Beaumont Cherry Valley Recreation and Park District assist us with our drive-through trunk or treat at Noble Creek Park. We had the Beaumont Bunny who made visits for Easter. Our friends at the Beaumont Library District jumped in and sponsored Stories in the Park with Miss B. We also had youngsters covered with an official Santa mailbox. Hopefully that comes back again this year. Overall, with our community partners, we had fun and enjoyed being able to continue to serve our residents in new and creative ways. As I indicated earlier, we have accomplished a number of things in a very short amount of time. Now let's take a look at what we can expect to see in the future, starting with our bottom line. The completion of a comprehensive annual financial report, which will provide accurate and meaningful information concerning the city's financial condition and performance, where we expect completion of this report for the audit year in fiscal 2021. Our new enhanced budget workbook, which allows for more transparency, which was a really big issue back from 2016, and a better understanding of the city's programs and department goals, will be available online with its own URL for the community to access their budget areas of interest. And this is scheduled for completion in September of 2021. Economical growth. Currently, sales tax and other data shows the citizens of Beaumont that are spending their money in the city of Beaumont. Sales taxes continue to grow despite uncertainty of 2020 and coronavirus. The city's efforts to diversify the economy has drawn not only retail businesses, but industrial corporations as well. We continue to see growth in sales tax numbers and expect to see our numbers continue to trend upward. As we look forward to the future, we continue to explore new ways to connect with our community in this fast-paced world of instant communication. The traditional style of print media, snail mail, and email campaigns are really becoming less effective. So in an effort to keep up with the changing needs of our community, the City of Beaumont has centralized its communications team. If you haven't connected with us, please be sure to follow us on social media pages and our apps. Beaumont has developed a comprehensive capital improvement plan encompassing the need for future expansion and continued growth of the city, and to provide our residents with the needed retail, commercial, and recreational amenities necessary to build a vibrant and active community. So let's hear from Councilmember Martinez and Mayor Pro Tem White on some of the great things we've been working on and are still to come.
Hello, and welcome to the Beaumont 2021 State of the City Address. I'm Councilmember Julio Martinez. You know, the City of Beaumont prides itself in offering parks and recreation services that address the needs for every resident. To keep up with the growth of the city and further enhance the quality of life for our residents, Beaumont has begun renovating two historic parks: Stewart Park, located in downtown Beaumont, and Rangel Park, located in the historic Barrio District. Here at the 11-acre Stewart Park in downtown Beaumont, the first stage of the renovations began with the demolition of the plunge and pavilion. The project is currently in the design phase for construction of a splash park and new band shell. These first major components of the renovation are expected to be operational in spring of 2022. When complete, the park will also feature walking trails, picnic pavilions, multi-generational and inclusive playground equipment with shade structures and increased parking facilities. The existing skate park and basketball courts will remain in their current location and will be updated with modern equipment. This is the most significant undertaking since the acquisition and development of the park in 1939. Now, across town, Beaumont has been making strides to enhance Rangel Park in the heart of the historic barrio. In 2020, a new restroom and snack bar were installed. The project is currently in the design phase for the installation of new lighting and enhancements to the ball field. Additional features will include a splash pad, new playground equipment, and a basketball court. This project is expected to be complete by summer of 2022. Beaumont is excited to enhance the quality of life with the revitalization of Stewart and Rangel Parks. This will provide a dynamic destination for families of all ages. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go check on our progress.
Now we'll hear from Mayor Pro Tem Lloyd White.
Hi, Lloyd White here, Mayor Pro Tem of Beaumont, out on Pennsylvania Avenue. Get ready, the Pennsylvania Avenue widening project is set to begin construction at the beginning of 2022. The project will widen Pennsylvania Avenue from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, from 1st Street to 6th Street. And the project will include a raised median at the railroad crossing and dual crossing arms, which will yield a much safer crossing for both pedestrians and vehicles. At the intersection of 6th Street, the design will encompass protected dual left turns from northbound Pennsylvania Avenue to westbound 6th Street. This infrastructure project, along with future expansion of 2nd Street Marketplace to Pennsylvania Avenue, will help alleviate congestion in our southern commercial area. Construction of the widening is expected to take 6 to 9 months to complete. When this is finished, it should have a big benefit to Highland Springs Avenue.
So the 2nd Street Extension project is going to help alleviate traffic congestion on 1st Street between Highland Springs and Pennsylvania Avenue. The planned 1,700-foot extension and widening project will include new storm drain and culvert systems. Our next step include environmental and regulatory compliance clearances, final engineered plans, and bid documents. We expect to complete these in early 2022. We are really working to improve the traffic flow on Highland Springs Avenue, and we've taken the first step, which is synchronizing the signal lights along this highly traveled roadway. Following approval from Caltrans, the city's traffic engineer is completing conversion of signal timing plans with an estimated completion by November of this year, just in time for our holiday shopping. Long-term plans for the area include significant modifications to the interchange, where in September of 2019, Riverside County Transportation Commission, or RCTC, the City of Beaumont, and the City of Banning entered into a cooperative agreement to prepare the Highland Springs Interchange Project Study Report, or PSR. The City of Beaumont helped to provide $2 million in temp zone funding for this project. The PSR provided several design alternatives which were recently approved by Caltrans. This enables the project to move on to the environmental document review phase, which is expected to take 2 years. RCTC will be the lead agency on this project, which is expected to begin construction in the summer of 2025, with a construction duration of approximately 24 months. Now I believe Councilmember Finn is here to tell us about our public safety complex.
Hi, I'm Councilman David Finn, and hello from Beaumont, the future site of Beaumont's Public Safety Complex. Located at Western Knolls and Petrara Boulevard across from the new Olivewood community, the future complex will house the West Side Fire Station and Beaumont Police Department. The first phase of the complex will begin with the fire station facility. Final draft architectural engineering drawings and specifications were provided to staff in August of 2021. Environmental clearance is expected by the end of the year and will clear the way for construction to begin. The construction timeline is estimated to take 12 to 18 months. Located next to the fire station facility is the future home of the Beaumont Police Department. Construction for the new police facility kicked off in July with the award of a feasibility study. As part of the feasibility study, Beaumont staff will tour multiple recently built facilities to assist them in the planning process. The goal of the feasibility study is to provide the City Council with a preliminary layout, long-term space planning, probable construction cost estimates, and facility elevations. The final report will be adopted in 2022. We look forward to welcoming our first responders to this state-of-the-art complex. Thank you.
In May of 2019, Beaumont Transit and Wastewater Division jointly purchased 6.14 acres at the southwest corner of 4th Street and Veely Avenue. The first phase of the land improvements for this site will include a public compressed natural gas fueling station with 2 islands and 4 dispensers. Construction is expected to begin in early 2022 and finish by the end of the year. Phase 2 of the design includes an additional 25 non-public slow fill stations for use by our transit fleet. This phase will also include design and construction of a maintenance yard and administration building. On December 15th, the Beaumont City Council approved a professional services agreement with the Retail Coach. They were brought on board to provide retail market analysis, which is a key element of the city's 2019 Economic Development Strategic Plan. Our partnership with the Retail Coach will assist Beaumont in developing a formal retail recruitment strategy to identify retailers most compatible with our area. Now, as we continue to grow, we continue to add new businesses to our community. And here's a sneak peek at what is coming soon, along with some of our newer retail and eating establishments. I don't know about you, but our family is always excited to see who's coming to Beaumont next, right? We're also expecting more medical services at Sundance Corporate, including physical therapy, dental, and orthodontic services. 900,000 square foot of industrial projects are underway in the Hidden Canyon Specific Plan. Beaumont's future active transportation plan will build upon the mobility element that's located in the general plan. It will help link pedestrian and bicycle facilities to key destinations such as downtown, commercial, and employment centers. A strategy for the city's downtown core is to enable visitors to park once and visit a series of destinations on foot. As you can see in the renderings, 6th Street, Beaumont Avenue, and Palm Avenue will be narrowed, 6th Street between Beaumont Avenue and Palm Avenue will be narrowed to 2 lanes with parking in the median. This area is intended to be unique with a focus on pedestrians and creating opportunities for special events, such as farmers markets and street fairs. East of Palm Avenue, 6th Street will transition to 4 lanes with protected bike lanes. Now, as we move closer to Highland Springs, we'll see the addition of a raised median and on-street parking to accommodate future commercial uses. The downtown core district, anchored by Civic Center, stretches from Egan Avenue on the west to Palm Avenue on the east and is bordered by 8th Street on the north and Interstate 10 on the south. So our goal is to make downtown core district the civic, entertainment, and social heart of the community. And you may notice some of these photos here. We have the downtown Yucaipa, which is the light section. We have downtown Redlands. I mean, who doesn't want something that works like downtown Redlands? So these elements of the downtown area and the general plan as a whole were achieved through community input via surveys, stakeholder interviews, and public workshops. So, as you can see, we've been busy working to improve the quality of life while rebuilding the public trust. All of this work couldn't happen without a dedicated city staff and a number of talented citizen volunteers and council members who actually put the importance of the city's progress above their own personal agendas. So, before I close, I'd like to personally thank Mercedes Cashmere and Ashley Starr, who helped put this program together, and all of the city staff who worked so hard to freshen up our facility to make it look presentable for all you folks here today. So, in closing, I just want to leave you with this. Please always remember where we've been so you can appreciate where we are today and look forward to what our future holds for us. Again, I want to thank you all for your patience and continued support, and please remember to be good neighbors. Thank you very much.